He 30 bombed on Dust 2, 50 kills in the previous best of 3 in the lower bracket. So you'd have to think for Thomas, this could potentially be another chance of getting a lot of impact and getting those damn kills.
Well, as the knife round goes the way of Endpoint, we want to remind you, of course, that Malta Vibes is brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. Choice aside would most likely go towards T, I imagine, for Endpoint. I mean, it doesn't really matter which side they go to. Like, they're going to have confidence on either side. They've looked so good from CT and the T side stances, so. Let's talk hypothetical before we get into our pistol round here, Dweg. What do you think the win conditions are for HONORIS to take us to a third map?
Oh, maybe if it's like 5v4 for Endpoint or something. I mean, no, honestly, like if what it really comes down to for HONORIS, they need to play confident. They need to really play very in your face. They can't play passive. As soon as they start playing passive on T, I think it's done. Like as soon as they start working behind the deep smokes, I mean, at least from what I've seen from Endpoint, they'd like to, you know, establish that ramp control, get that deep smoke down, try and get players up close and personal. If the T side of HONORIS are just kind of playing behind it and allowing the CTs to get control, I think they're done. They have to be in your face and they have to be playing confident for me.
Let's get to the pistol round here. All-important win for HONORIS. Of course, they need to take this map if they want to stay alive here in Malta Vibes. The defuse kit in for Robin, the HE out for him, HE for Thomas as well. I believe he had a little bit more utility. Taps up from Surreal, finds that opening kill. He does get tagged to 1 point of health. There is no utility for the HONORIS count. They're just straight up peeking and Crucial straight up shutting them down. Surreal's got contact, does get taken back. Robin also swings into position. Stomp peeks in. Neo gets Robin on the bomb site. So 3 versus 3. HP advantage from the even standing here for HONORIS. They get a bomb plant and now set up the retake.
Oh, Mighty Max needs to try and take down Neo, but the position of the flank's already been given up, and that kit, we can see it just in front of Prism, but the Glocks are hitting some great shots. Mighty Max is going to be the last one left. 1 versus 3 attempt from him, and well, he's pretty much done at this point, Jay. Going to try and get out of there, save onto that Kevlar. And things started off really nicely. They had an opening man advantage for the Endpoint side, but for HONORIS, it came in thick, and it came in fast with those Glocks out through the mid to B split.
Nice and quick and effective, and you want to see that from a T-side basis of HONORIS. You need to see them go real ham, real quick. Hopefully punish some of the aggressive elements of Endpoint and the cocky. What? Okay, Prism.
Hello.
Fine, sure, whatever. I thought he would have heard the footsteps of Mighty Max, but apparently not. So despite that pistol victory, Loot Bet do favour Endpoint. Not by a massive margin. I thought it would be a bit higher, but to be fair, you know, it has been a bit of a weird one today between these two teams, so I can understand that. If you fancy those odds again, you can go to Loot Bet's via the link below the Twitch channel. You can get 10 free CSGO spins and a €100 bonus on your deposit. Bet on Malta Vibes matches across the board here. So, 4 Spire coming in from Endpoint, upgrade pistols, Kevlar utility. Let's see what they can do.
A lot of utility actually coming out towards this B bomb site. Early contact being made. Neo's getting taken down relatively low. That HE is going to do even more damage. But HONORIS not really putting any presence towards A. It looks like it's going to be yet again another split into the B bomb site. Mighty Max can get a lot of information.
He'll see Stomp and he'll see the utility coming out as well. And the smoke down probably indicates that there's at least 2, maybe even 3 players out. Deagle. It's going to be a wraparound from the back lines. The Deagles are set to the crossfire, and that's going to let them all cross. Taz ends up dropping to Thomas. And Crucial gets 2 picks of his own right. 2 versus 4. This 4 spike could still work out. Now let's get Lils to work with. Stomp's going to get Mighty Max down. Nade to the back of the site. Tags up Stomp to 71 points of health. And the CTs are stopping his plant from coming through right now. Crucial going to take face Ryko, and Stomp going to combine to take him down. So even standing here on the retake, 2-on-2, no kits for the Endpoint side.
And you've got to think it just comes down to these Deagles landing some really nice shots on the retake. Oh, no. Robin turns it into a 1 versus 1, but Stomp, both players incredibly low when Robin hits the Deagle shot. And that's why we don't see a lot of mid to A splits on the T side of Vertigo. It is very difficult to make it work. A lot of the time you see mid to B, or you don't really see any mid play at all from the T side. And for HONORIS, they try and split into that A bomb side. There's a great hold coming out from Crucial, who's already started to aggress out through ramps. He's got a really nice angle to work with. And in that 2 versus 2, they make it successful. They trade out each other. And HONORIS, mate, like, that's not a round you should be losing. That's all I can say.
It was a force buy to give him credence. But yeah, no, that was not a fun time for HONORIS. A decent start there, but he just kind of rushed straight into the Deagles, and the Deagles shut them down. You know, all the Pistons coming in the back lines, AKs and everything. The automatics work well, so HONORIS. And the eco round will come through. The bomb plant bonus should enable a buy coming into the next round here. AK giving up his position. Surreal with his M4 towards the generator. Thomas, Ryko, crucial, getting involved with picks, robbing us an 8 kills. Ryko as well, and Leo and Taz. Last 2 players left. Neo going to try and enter in from the main. If Taz goes down, he's hurt, he's sprayed. And Endpoint will get away with 4 players alive on the CT side.
Okay, good round coming out from the Endpoint side. Really didn't have to deal with too many upgrades though, so it is expected. And we're going into round number 4. This is where the rifles start to come out for the T side. AWP up for Stomp. Not a great amount of utility, and a Galil up for Prism. But still a very good buy for the HONORIS side. And you got to think, Jade, they need to find some sort of opening pick. And it might come out through the AWP towards this ramp room area.
Smokes down, early utility coming in. Prism with the Galil. Checking out positions here on the ramp area, and over at the construction position is where you look to enter the A bomb site. We've got the M4 of Surreal. Pushing up towards the stairs, we're looking for some T-side players out here, but it's gone pretty passive here from HONORIS. They had a bit of aggression coming in early on, but other than that, they haven't taken facing contact, and they're just going to slowly push up from ramp.
It doesn't really seem like Endpoint putting like too much aggression out towards A, but they're going to get a lot of information because we're now seeing Surreal and Robin start to push the B stairs. They see nothing. They can now rotate as a gamble stack over to this A bomb site. Great re-smoke coming down for Crucial, but the T side, they want to keep pushing.
Mighty Max with the FAMAS out here. The Incendiary going into the smoke from Thomas, extinguished immediately. Mighty Max and Crucial going to spray through. They get Neo as he pushes forward, sacrifices his life for the sake of the plant, but Robin gets Taz on a second kill, headshot through the smoke. 5 versus 3, Crucial gets presented to 2. Orpid Stomp does catch Crucial going overly aggressive. The AK of Ryko also spotting out Mighty Max. They have the info they need to go for this retake, and the Orp missing its shot will now enable Endpoint to move in.
Oh!
Stop connecting, it flicks, looking for more, but Surreal drops the man, leaving Ryko alone. Diffuse tapped once, expecting an alley peek. Robin seeing him. AK looking for the headshot on Surreal. Robin last man, and Ryko will secure the second round for HONORIS.
Okay, well that AWP shot coming out from Stomp was ridiculous, but Ryko is the man to stand up in the hour. Let's have a look at the replay. Huge 1 versus 2 coming out. And it seemed like what was at least trying to get coordinated there was Robin, get on the bomb and I'll defend you from Surreal, but that was not the case. They couldn't even allow that to happen. And now we'll see X or Endpoint CX. They're going to be on the force by Jay, and was not the best of buys on the CT side.
Look at Ryko there with the opening frag as well. Very quick out from HONORIS. They've got a Deagle here on Surreal. He'll cross out at the edge of that smoke. Probably heard by the footsteps in the jump face, and this Deagle will heads on the site. And Molotov is going to be missed out, extinguished by the smokes. Sprays awkward from Ryko. Crucial can take him down. So 4-on-4 with the M4s now. Also push in from the ramp position. Mighty Max been spotted. He's got to fall back. Passive Surreal spotted and sprayed. Tagged 78 and now needs to go passive again of his own right.
Well, HONORIS, they've got a couple of options. I mean, one thing great spam coming out from Surreal. They've been able to take ramp control super easily at the moment. Endpoint have been playing really passive with this A bomb site, and it seems like that's why they want to go back to A.
UMP seeing that the site scope in. AWP does not land on the player on the boxes. The bomb plant from Taz will come through on the default position. Now 3 versus 3. Smoke on Crucial, keep him suppressed all the same, as if he hasn't been suppressed enough with the HP advantage. No kit, and Stomp will to punish Surreal for his peeking. Going down to save the M4s now on the 2 Endpoint players. I mean, they don't have a choice here on HONORIS. Will get themselves up by around 3-2 on this T side, and the T side start has actually been doing pretty well.
It really has, and looking like pretty decent for HONORIS, all things considered. Certainly at least showing up on the T side of Vertigo to try and keep their hopes alive to take us to a 3rd map of Mirage. We will see a couple of rifles being saved in for Crucial and Mighty Max. No real money to go for another force buy investment, so it should just be USPs to back up these rifles. And for HONORIS, this is a great opportunity for them to really start to stretch the lead on the T side.
3-2. And no real buy coming in from Endpoint as you would expect. Crucial pushing up with the AK here towards the ramp position. There are T-side players. Prism in particular, not being seen. Look at the position from Crucial. He's inches, pixels away from getting all the info he wants. Gets one as a Ryko somewhere close. Awkward spray doing damage, but he's found a way back in. Molotov to force him even further onto the bomb site. Low HP for the player as well. And damage coming in from the M4. Crucial eventually falls. So 4 versus 3. Thomas needs to go back now. Tanking that nade to the face. Now he's just got to retreat. Just save the rifle from here.
Great damage being found from HONORIS. And look, that wasn't a bad position coming out from Crucial, but the fact is, as soon as he finds an opening kill, they molly him, they force him quite low, and they just spam him out. And Thomas trying to hold on to this M4, bring it into the next round. And well, this will be a 4th round up for the HONORIS camp. Stomp in particular has been hitting some really nice shots on the T side of Vertigo so far. Honestly, like I would say all day really. Been very impressive for this HONORIS side. Thomas is like, he's really trying to hold on to it. And he should be able to. At least takes a player down.
M4 drop for the T side, so they won't be sweating it too much. Orps out, of course, for both sides. Stomp using his great effect so far today, as you mentioned. Crucial glass cannon for his, though. The for Martin, for Robin's going to get shut down, and these aggressive peaks from Endpoint have not always been going right. Smoke in right for real, surreal. They've got a good beat on this. HONORIS have done their homework, and they are really putting the hurt in on Endpoint.
Well, they certainly didn't play like this at all against Alternate Attacks. They were very slow, they were very passive on the T side, but they've certainly realized, okay, we can't play like that against a team like Endpoint. And, well, they're fast, they're aggressive, they're finding great opening kills, generator smokes coming out for the T side. And, well, for Endpoint, you've got to think, how do they even bring this back? 3-on-5 disadvantage. Beautiful entries coming out towards the B stairs.
$50 seconds to the clock. HONORIS is starting to push in towards that B bomb site. 2 players out to the cross here on the site and from quad. And the 3rd player going to gamble, stack and rotate, then join them here. This could be the play for Endpoint. This could be the thing that wins them the round. Molotov's in, flags over. Mighty Max looking for Ryko. Goes down. M4 swing. Crucial gets 1 AWP kill. Thomas struggles to get his pick back. Crucial hit with the AWP. Can't land it onto Ryko. And Stomp will clean up that final frag for it. So HONORIS, execution with the man advantage, makes it work well. 5-2 up for the T side.
All right, well, this is certainly not what I expected going into Vertigo. At least in the playstyle of HONORIS, I've been really happy in the intent and the way that they've tried to force opening kills and force Endpoint, at least at the A-bomb site, very passively. We've not really seen any aggression coming out over to that area from the city side. We've seen a little bit out towards B stairs, but not a massive amount. And we're even starting round number 8 off. Great opening pick coming out from Stomp. And for HONORIS, you know, going 6-2 up, this could be the confidence they need and the momentum they need to be able to put up like 9-10 rounds on the T side.
Yeah. And a start this would be for HONORIS as well. Obviously, you know, the T side is the expected best half for every single team. So seeing HONORIS do this well so far, it doesn't surprise me too much. But obviously against Endpoint, they have looked like they've been struggling so far in this half. And it is only early days, about 8 rounds into this half so far. 5 versus 4 as the Deagles can't get major damage, let alone kills. Surreal backed up to the bomb site, ready for a face-in against Ryko. Next up, tops his head up, takes that damage. But again, no frags for Endpoint as they put the utility out here for HONORIS. Surreal's going to wait back. Molotov's in to try and stop their progress, but they make their way in from main entrance, mostly uncontested, with the exception of that smoke. Prism gets Thomas for a frag. Surreal still sitting close to the bomb site. He doesn't see Ryko out there on the boost box itself. And Mighty Max will get 1 frag, but that's as far as it goes for him. Crucial will get 1 more frag as well. 3 kills? No, not quite. Not against Neo here. Taz also not quick to get up the ghost. And Neo drops the last man.
And I think they've got to bring out the double orbs, get Crucial on one, get Surreal to hold an AWP over at that B bomb site. But straight away, like, you can see the investment. They're not going to go for it. Robin never AWPs, so there's no way he's going to glass cannon. And I just think we need to see a bit of a change up from Endpoint. I'd like to see some aggression coming out from mid. Maybe try and see if they can counter aggression with aggression, especially if they can use their utility well. Because at the moment, HONORIS, they're certainly very aggressive on the T side and stop. We've seen how many times he's been holding this angle.
So many times Surreal's peeked in and gotten shut down as well to the bomb site play. The defaults from HONORIS have been much more B-site based. Very little coming out from the ramp control. They're expecting the CTs to be aggressed up here. They Molotov, they spray through, but back behind white box is where Surreal's placed to. Nades on, follow-up HE landing even better to Ryko. 29 HP for the man. A start off for this CT side.
Great damage in terms of utility. And you're absolutely right. I mean, for most teams on the T side of Vertigo, it's normally the A presence that you see the most in terms of defaults. But for HONORIS, it's really been commitments over to the B bomb site. And, well, 1-for-1 trade probably doesn't really favor out the T side considering how low Ryko is. Now they might start to shift their presence over to this ramp control. I like this position from Mighty Max.
Oh, we've seen the gun barrel, though. He gets taken down in the end.
To get checked
on his shots. Thomas not going to get checked. This backstab could be everything. 3 players spotted. 1 goes down. Continues the firefight, spraying through the scaffolding. But Taz gets that frag, and Crucial with the AWP close range on the bomb site here to deny a bomb plant. This will be difficult. Molotov's on, going for the no-scope. Taz gets away with the plant. So 3-on-2 now. Seeing the man, quick scope up, takes it back to an even standing. Ryko there towards the side, and the AWP scopes in, looks for a player towards alleyway. It's Robin there to cover off Prism, and now the AWP of Rico. 1 versus 2, seeing both CTs. They also saw him. Crucial's a dead man walking as the headshot connects. He looks for Ryko next up. Robin will fake a face and take a 3K for a defuse and a round on the board for Endpoint.
Oh, these rounds are close. These rounds are too close for Endpoint for my liking. That honestly could have been HONORIS going up, what, 7-2? There would have been no economy for the CT side. I mean, really, there's not even a lot when they win the round. And this is honestly a big surprise from HONORIS. I certainly did not expect them to be able to get this kind of momentum and to keep these rounds this close. 3 rounds in the lead at the moment for the Poles. And they certainly have got the better buy going into round number 10. And for Endpoint, finally we start to see some aggression. I love the way that Thomas is aggressive out through the scaffolding, doesn't get checked. Yes, he only finds 1 kill, but the intent's there in terms of a change-up.
Heavy bite from Endpoint will still have to come through here off the back of that round victory. Obviously, their economy game has been severely hurt here by HONORIS. UMP in for Thomas. See something out here with the shoulder baits. Nothing will be seen early on here from HONORIS, though. They're going to keep themselves relatively passive, try and bait in those frags against the CTs, and go towards the A bomb site. Much more based around the ramp defaults here, and the response utility will come out, try to do some damage. Neo is tagged to 61. Commitment coming through now, looking for the plant, looking for the site. Spray to the position of Mighty Max and Thomas. Thomas gets tagged up very heavily by the spray of the player on alley. As long as they can keep Prism away from this bomb site, though, then the main CT defensive should hold on. I say that, and they do get overwhelmed. Crucial response to the AWP to a 3 versus 3. Bomb yet to cross. Smokes down here, and CTs have set themselves up.
Retakes have come in very, very quickly for the Endpoint side. They're still waiting for Surreal as the B bomb site anchor to make his way in. Great kill coming out from Robin. And now it's a disadvantage for the HONORIS camp. 2-on-3 post plant. They don't have any utility to work with. Oh, but they've got the angle. Taz, rather than working around the edge of the smoke, he's actually going to try to reposition and fall back, and it doesn't work out in his favor. Prism, the last one left. And, well, lovely shooting coming out there from Crucial. And, well, you know, they were a little bit hesitant on who was going to be able to stick the defuse, but in the end, it will be a 4th round from Endpoint. Great retake to that A-bomb site.
Indeed it was. They didn't play too what's the word? They didn't play too aggressively, you know. They didn't feel like they had to go push into the bomb site and try and deny it. You know, they realized they were on the back foot after they got the kills on the players at alley. So they're just like, all right, you can have the bomb plant, it's no worries. Just wait here and then eventually push forward and find all the kills as appropriate. And that enables the double AWP setup to come through from the CT side. I believe that second AWP was saved off the player that dropped it from HONORIS. Look at Robin, aggressive again, going to look for control, look for an opening frag. Carefully played here against the T-side forces. The AWP of Surreal going to keep his eyes on these stairs, but right now, very passive control under the site defensive.
And this is Endpoint really starting to get some success at the moment. Already doing a fair bit of damage onto Prism, and really they'll be looking at seeing if they can tie us up at 6 rounds each. Certainly should be able to if they can win out this round following round 11. Ramp control. Now, one thing to certainly, you know, mention is the fact that HONORIS are taking just easy map control at the moment. Whether it's towards the B stairs or it's to ramp, they are finding it very easily. Do they check the position of Mighty Max? They need to make sure they are. They're not going to check it.
M4 in. Neo out. AWP for Surreal doesn't quite get the frag on the next player here. Scopes in, misses his shot against Stomp. Crucial, mans his flick. Next player so close. Molotov against him. Stomp making a 3K happen, no. But Thomas is there to respond. Prism's last man left. And the AK out for this man doing damage, but not finding a kill on the last few CTs. So a 5th for Endpoint, 5th to the board, 1 within the lead of HONORIS.
Now, I can't remember what event it was, Jay. It was a few months ago, but we actually casted Endpoint on Vertigo, and I remember Crucial put up like something like 35, 36 frags. It was something ridiculous, and I'm certainly seeing signs of that again. Currently sitting 16 and 8 on the city side of Vertigo, already 11 rounds deep, and putting up a monster performance. And if you wanted anyone to step up to allow a comeback to come through, it's got to be him. Oh, big nade! We love that.
Nade! And now they rush forward straight to the Molotov. A kill comes in from Max on that molly. And Thomas will shut down the next. That's it. Just one way to follow up. What a way to follow up for Endpoint. As they clean up 5 frags, taking 1 casualty. The main weapons will stay in though, no worries for the economy.
This is now, what, 4 rounds in a row, I want to say, for the Endpoint side. I think HONORIS are up 6-2. So at least, yeah, that's right. 4 rounds in a row. Certainly finding a little bit of confidence now. And, well, we're yet to see Surreal on the double AWP be able to find the kills that he did on Dust 2. Certainly been playing around this B bomb site a lot of the time. And I like the way the Crucial's changing up his position. You know, we've seen him over towards the A bomb site, we've seen him over towards mid now. And for HONORIS, they need to find an opening kill. That's something they've struggled with in these last few rounds. Oh, that's fast.
Takes Crucial. Robin able to respond, and a very quick play to that mid position is dealt with here by the CT camp. Another aggression in from the ramp push. Look how aggressive they want Thomas to get here. I mean, they usually flash him into this position, but he's just dry facing because they suspect there'll be no A-site presence. And with this position set up here, they can rotate a second player back to the main B-site defensive. That's what they're going to do, leaving Thomas to hold. Surreal trying to land these AWP shots. He's been a little bit hit and miss so far on this map up. Now got to fend against the execution.
This needs to be a big hold from Surreal. He's got a little bit of help. This HE could certainly do some damage. Not as much as it was in the previous round, but the utility is fantastic from the T side. Trying to force the CTs deep into the side and further back. But I tell you what, Mighty Max is having a good hold. 2 kills from him. Surreal now chiming into the action, and it's all down to Stomp. 1 versus 3 from him. The bomb's been dropped in the middle of the site, and you've got to think this is an unwinnable clutch at this point.
In the shoulder bait on the AWP, Surreal is a known entity. There's a backstab coming in from Thomas as well, the shoulder baits, and eventually the M4 will pick up that kill, pick up the AK as well. And Endpoint finally have the lead above HONORIS. It was a good start for the Poles, but it looks like it's turning to Jello right now. What's not Jello is our case partners in Hellcase. You can get some solid skins, Malta V and Malta V15, for your free money and free 15% refill bonuses on the Hellcase website. Tactical pause coming in for Endpoint of all teams.
And you could get like one of those nice Karambit Brightwater, I think it's called. Quite nice.
On the Prism's holding.
Yeah, it's called the Brightwater, right?
What's his...
Surf's Up. Great film. Great film.
I like that. That's good. That's good. That's funny. All right. A tactical over for Endpoint. What are they discussed in that tactical timeout? What are they trying to figure out here against HONORIS?
Yeah, look, I think they just need to make sure that they're maintaining control and, you know, they're not giving away any unnecessary gunfights. They're certainly trying to work on this B defensive run boost coming up. That is a tough shot to hit. And Surreal, well, he lands those. No problem whatsoever. That would have been fast. That would have been such a quick flick.
And Taz tumbling to his death. I mean, he was dead when the AWP shot connected, but, you know.
He's gone down. Very, very far down. And you got to think, that's the start that they were looking for. Trying to strengthen up the B hold and look at the information. Robin's got the information. He can start to wall bang, and he does so much damage.
He could have lined up 2 potential kills. You don't see peaks like that much here on the CT side. And you're right, Thomas is pushed aggressive. He's ready to cut them off. He has to get at least a kill, maybe 2. Is Neo and Ryker, the first 2 players out there, low HP. 1 frag found. Stomp finds the trade. Now the rotation's got to come in from Endpoint. 4 versus 3. As HONORIS push up to the bomb site, Mighty Max is quick in position, as is Crucial with the AWP. M4's out towards the side, going to try and deny the bomb plant if possible. AWP to play retake. Spray back, not on the default position. Stops behind it there in the open air. So 4 versus 3, Endpoint still looking for their retake.
Unfortunately for Mighty Max, he was like almost 100% confirmed that there must have been some sort of T players around that alley position. But it is a 2-on-2. It is double AWPs on the retake coming out from Endpoint. This is not going to be an easy one by any stretch of an imagination. But Ryko, oh man, I can't believe the double AWPs win it. Considering how low they are, like, people don't realize how difficult it is to retake the A bomb site on Vertigo with 2 AWPs against 2 riflers, and they make it work.
That's the half gained by Endpoint. Well played from the CT camp. And for the 15th round, it'll be a single AWP set up here for Stomp. Double AWPs in for Surreal and Crucial once again. It's worked so well.
Here we go.
Gonna go once again. No, they don't get the run boost in. They're gonna try it for a second time. Neo. Here we go. AK is out. He makes the jump. I think they saw him though. Yeah, Surreal's checking that position. He knows what's up.
Yeah, they saw him. And, well,
nice.
Taz has gone, come on, boys. This is 2 in a row now that I've been taken down. Great shot coming out from Surreal. Just reading the information. This could be a tough shot. It gets baited out quite nicely, actually, from the T's. Ooh, great response. And now Robin's alone at B.
Yeah, getting a bit too aggressive, I think, for my liking. Surreal. M4, but Robin needs to get a kill. He just gets damage, and Thomas can respond with a nice kill of his own right. HE on to the positions here, and Neo's going to evade death just by the skin of his teeth. Has forced them to retreat on a 3 versus 3 scenario, but again, what was that defensive? That could have been so much better from the 2 CTs.
Yeah, look, that's unfortunate. I think that was just Surreal getting a little bit greedy there. He got baited into another shot, and For Robin, just sloppy, very sloppy on the spray control. And for HONORIS, you know, using the mistakes of their opposition, they're able to get a 3-on-3. Now, they are actually rotating Mighty Max into this A bomb site, so it's a pretty good read at the moment from Endpoint. Crucial. Do they check this? They're really running down the clock for HONORIS.
Yeah, the AWP and the M4 here at the CT side are going to benefit as a result of this. The Molotov's in Crucial. We tempt face for a backstab. He won't.
Neo's so aggressive.
His own devices, and they are not planting for Ali. They know they didn't check it, therefore they're not going to take that risk. Meanwhile, they've gained the CT aggressive positions. Look at how far pushed up Neo is. On 7 HP, but if they don't check this angle, then he can get a headshot easy as that. Mighty Max is here. He'll respond to his teammates' death. 2-on-2 now. Retake on Prism's also aggressive, and he goes falling. It's all left to Crucial. Player out towards the sandbags. He sees that head. Needs to get that shot, and indeed he does. Now smoke onto the bomb. Is he going to go stick the defuse? Incendiary back. He can stick it. Flashbang as well. Prism on 5 points of health. Sprays back. He's not landing. Knife's coming through. Crucial still sticking it. Oh, Prism! He was inches away. When that smoke clears, he won't even know. Crucial will. But, oh, that is just so upsetting for the HONORIS side.
And one thing I know you mentioned, Jade, like great early lead coming out from HONORIS. They were up 6-2. They were looking dominant. Where is that lead gone? It's just, it fell out of nowhere, it seems. That's unfortunate they're coming out for Prism, you know. Trying to go for the knife attempt, but it is going to be a 9th up for the Endpoint side, and the odds over at our betting partner of LootBet. 1.22 for Endpoint, 4-1 for HONORIS. If you believe in the comeback, you'll be able to check out the links in the Twitch description underneath the Twitch channel. Get involved in some really nice free rolls. But you got to think, Jay, like for HONORIS, how do you come back from this? How do you come back from this? It's got to really be off the pistol round, and look at the stack at the A bomb site for the CTs.
They are ready for this. They know that Endpoint like to play the RAM default, so they're going to try so they can cut them down just by taking firefights and ripping them apart before they get to the bomb site. The smokes go up though. Crucial fakes the bomb plant. Surreal goes falling to Neo. I'm not sure where he dropped, but looks like it was an alleyway position. Crucial tagged up to 18 HP. He gets that bomb down in the end. And now the 5 versus 4 retake coming in. Crucial even more hurt now. Smokes down, flashes over here, they come. Crucial somehow staying alive, allowing his teammates to clean up kills. Robin getting himself a pick back, Thomas still on site, picking the knife back out to a 2 versus 2. As Neo drops him, they're back on the defuse, taps up from Robin, the P250, seeing Prism, takes him down, taps to Neo, 1-on-1. Mighty Max knows exactly where his players is. They're going for knives here. What is this? Is this a knife round? Yes, it is, says Neo, and he gets the defuse for it. 4 kills to his name. What is this?
Both players were just trying to knife each other in the midst of the smoke. just comical. It really is.
What on earth?
Classic UKCS, right? That's unfortunate. I mean, with a bomb plant, they're going to go and force the issue straight away. Thomas is going up for an AK, and so is Crucial. Stump's got an AWP. Look how early that is. And that comes off the back of that knife attempt from Neo. He must have dropped that over. No,
absolutely. It's going to be him to try and take contact against the force buy here for Endpoint. They have gone for a heavy investment round. And Stomp is going to take that investment away. Dropping the bomb, dropping an AK as well on Crucial. Ryko going to push very aggressive into the B bomb site. Push to the B stairs area. Ryko does get Surreal. 5-on-3 situation. HONORIS. It's the press from the A bomb site. There's a big gap for that orb to work with, though. Neo on 7 HP. He smokes down to try and get a bomb plant out of this one for Endpoint.
Great utility usage. The flashes and smokes and even just timings on that A piece is just really nice from Endpoint. Unfortunately, it's the kills that have not gone their way. A 5-on-3 advantage for the CTs, and Ryko, well, he's already heard the footsteps from Mighty Max.
Shouldn't know where he is. Thomas is the main concern, though. Closest player to the bomb site, sprays on one and gets two, but Taz and Ryko do return back. So Deagle out here for Mighty Max, got players coming in from the back lines as well, and the UMP picked up. Could get Ryko, no, not even that much. The defuse being stuck anyway, so even if he got that frag, he wouldn't have returned to the site in time. This will be 8 to the CT board here. Within one of Endpoint's lead.
And certainly making it competitive. And you've got to think for, at least for Crucial, you know, he's really gone pretty quiet recently. I think we said that he was, what, 16 to 8 at one point. Certainly has been quiet for the last sort of, I would say, 5, 6, 7 rounds. An opportunity to really come into his own in the following when he'll probably get his hands on that AWP. And we could be up for a tied scoreline. Fast play out towards ramp for the T's, but all the information, it's already been gathered.
Nades on, damage done to Crucial. M4 for Prism, not able to take Mighty Max down. Surreal tagged instead. The spray from Taz. Get some damage done. He'll be successful in that respect. Prism finds that opening kill. Crucial does get Taz down, but Neo lines up 3 picks, so the anti-eco goes pretty well there for the CT side. 4 kills for the M4. And 9 to the board of HONORIS. We're back at evens and a surprising contention here on our second map.
I've got to be honest, I certainly didn't see it being the case on Vertigo for at least it to be, you know, so close between each teams. And you've got to think, like, might be a good opportunity for Endpoint if they lose this round or they win this round to, you know, just take a tactical, you know, speak to their coach at Ross R and kind of say, right, okay, like, it's been close, you know, what can we try and do to just stretch out this lead now we're on T side. Even the aggression coming out from Ryko straight away, not even worried about sound cues, he goes straight into the B stairs.
The real find something at the edge of this smoke, checking out the top ends of the smokes and that small gap on the right-hand side. It will clear in the end, but Surreal will not see anything. He'll make some noise. Ryko knows he's here. He expects aggression. He'll check the corner. The shoulder's been seen. Smokes out. The face comes in, but Surreal wins the fight. And now the T side look to set themselves up to the A default.
Now, 9 times out of 10, even considering he's got an AK, Surreal should not win out that fight. I mean, the information's been seen. Neo wants to try and trade it back, and at least he does into the 4-on-4. But for Endpoint, they're establishing the ramp control. And for HONORIS, not really too much information at this point. They don't really have too much utility to deny this execution coming through to A. The best thing they could do, try and get Prism to try and take a gunfight immediately.
And 4 on site. Flashbang keeps him entirely blind. Well placed there from Crucial. 4 versus 3. Taz will spray blind, hoping they're going to plant open. They will not. Back on default once again for the Endpoint side. The flash is on site now. The AWP looking for Stomp. Crucial force back. Neo here towards the sandbags. Robin doesn't see him. He sees that head. And Neo can take him down. Crucial going to be followed up second. Thomas there for the 3rd pick. He gets the trade. So it's all left to Stomp. 1 versus 2. Mighty Max to come in from the alleyway. He'll have to be the man coming in from alley as his teammate's gone down on ramp. Swing in. Headshot comes out. And 2K to his name as HONORIS get close, but no cigar to the defense.
Now, I don't want to say that this map's over and done with for Endpoint, but the fact is that it's kind of quite surprising, in all honesty, that they're struggling against HONORIS, considering that they were a team that I think for both of us were expected to kind of ride a pretty easy train into the playoffs, considering looking at the teams in this group. But it certainly has not been the case. You know, we've seen a lot of teams be able to put up some pretty good fights against Endpoint, which is great to see that the favorite has certainly not had the easiest time in the world. And, well, you have a look into round number 20. Yes, you've got your AWP out from Stomp, but there's not a lot to back him up in terms of support.
Stomp. Finding Crucial. A good start here for the AWP of the CT Cat. They need this to be their main carry weapon of the eco. A stack coming in that B bomb site as well. The boost up from the AWP. Can he see into mid from here? I think he can.
Yeah, he can.
Okay, so this might be something to work with if they try to go to the mid control, but really it's the Galil on Surreal that's going to take that first contact. So they're going to set up against this position. Neo's going to start pushing in with the USP. Does not see the man. Neither does Surreal see him. And Neo catches him first. So a second kill to the 5 versus 3. Max is low. This is winnable for HONORIS.
It really is. And I mean, that boost, we used to see it quite a fair bit in the older patches of Vertigo. Not so much recently. But you look at this round, you think, wow, this is a 5-on-3 advantage. They've got the information, especially with Taz on the back line, so they can gamble state this A bomb side and just play the numbers game, Jay.
No one's watching their backs, and the AWP picked up by Taz can strike. 2 players left against 5 of the CT. Forced Eagle in. Thomas does get Ryko. They're still going to account with someone there towards that ramp position. The AWP seen sprayed out by Thomas on the AWP back here to the site. Stomp getting picked up by Mighty Max. Now, 1 player left for Thomas. He's hearing those footsteps in the back lines. They're going to come in, try counter flank them. Here they come. No one checking Ali. Someone is. Thomas takes out Taz. Going to reload now. Someone on the bomb here is open for Ali. AWP watching that position. Spray through. Gets out of dodge. And repositions back over to the other side of the site entrance. Diffused to be stuck by Stomp. He's got no kit. I don't think he's got time. He's running for the hills. Thomas will get 4K. And the tank engine strikes again for Endpoint 11 to the T-side board.
And you've got to think that information must have been thrown over to him. The fact of, okay, they're on a half-buy, they probably don't have a kit. So the fact that Thomas plays that incredibly well, they clutched out a 2-on-5 there, Jay. And, I mean, nothing against HONORIS, but really, if you maybe had like a, I don't know, a Nordavind or a Skate or a Fate in that kind of a situation, I would say 99% of the time they close out that round. And I don't know, you can't really call it the lack of experience because, well, they've got the experience in some of these players, but, I mean, that's disappointing that they lose out such a big advantage. Oh, okay. Great shot coming out from Crucial.
Done with his AWP back here against Mighty Max, the Mac 10. Pursuing firefight. He scoped it, he has no idea that Molotov will force him back at least. Dinged down at 20 HP as well, so damage being done by the CE side forces. Look, I want to commit very early on towards this A bomb site. The nade from Stomp will finally take out Crucial, and the M4 attack swings in, drops that bomb, sees Robin, gets another kill. Ryko gets Thomas. Mighty Max left with the Mac 10. Will have to pick up the pieces in a 1 versus 2. He's found 1 kill. He's on for the 3K. No idea that Stomp's behind him. Sees Taz, takes his head off his shoulders, and can grab the bomb, can rotate it to the B bomb site. I think that might be his game plan.
Thing is, though, is when does Stomp realize this? He might just try and play the time, and he's not going to go B. He's going to stay. When does Stomp go? When does he go right? I don't think it's A anymore. It just all comes down to timing. It really does.
Max has got a flash and a molly. Not giving up any info. He's dry facing into the bomb site, planting for default here. Ooh. Indeed he will. Stomp's going to hear that, moves slowly but surely into the site. The Molotov going on. That's going to land a bit too far out. Flashbang close range. Oh! The AK spray still comes out for Mr. Max. Mr. Mighty, 3 kills and 12 to the board of Endpoint as they continue to try and put distance between them and HONORIS.
And when you think of this Endpoint side, whether you are involved in the UK scene or not, you always think of Mighty Max. You know, not even in this lineup, he's been involved in the Mighty Max organization in terms of a player for many, many years. And that's a huge clutch. The in-game leader really stepping up when needed. The way that he's able to isolate those one-on-one duels and try and fake out the opposition, just fantastic stuff. And this could get a little bit scary with the flashes coming out and the amount of CTs here at the B bomb site. It is a good cleanup, but that was looking a little bit scary for just... Oh, it's still looking scary. Okay, hang on a minute.
Taz has come up from mid, found 2 picks. I don't know how they let that happen, but Endpoint have run straight back into the meat grinder. The bomb plant from Mighty Max will see himself alone. The Mac 10 of Surreal will move in. And they've got an AK to work with here for Ryko. And Surreal, he's going the long way around. This could really pinch in against Mighty Max. If he gets isolated back to the sandbags area, then he is basically a goner. Sees that a Taz will peek in. Surreal's going to get hurt. Ryko's ready for this. Spray through. The Mac 10 will wait and bait and shoulder peek. Taz will get spotted. Mighty Max will deal with that. Ryko gets Surreal back to 1 versus 1, though I think he's out of time. And Max will keep him alive here. Smoke on the bomb. Is he going to stick this? Tap it once and not get anything out for it. May look for the kill. May look for damage against the T side. Indeed he will. So HONORIS get away with that much and a very good round, all things considered. Again, they had very little investment in that one. They do get away with all 5 dead and AK coming out for the CT side.
And there's like no money for the T side. Like they're able to get a buy through, but in terms of building the economy, well, that's just disappeared. That's a really rough round from Endpoint. At least they're winning rounds though, Jade. That's the main concern at the moment for HONORIS. 13-9. Not a great amount of utility out, but there is 8Ks across the board, backed up by the AWP of Crucial. And look at the fast presence into the B bomb site. Stomp, I don't know if that was a wallbang. I'm not actually sure where that came from. He finds the opener, but straight away it's back into a 4-on-4 in an even playing field.
Again, the map control gained by Ryko here to the stairs area could prove to be difficult for Endpoint to deal with. They decide to go to the B bomb site default again. And Prism will also aggress here on ramp. In general, it's a bit of a B stack. You usually see more players on the A side because of how popular the ramp default is from the T side. Flashbangs to be seen. The AWP, pixels away from Prism. But alas, here he is, rotating back out position, calling for backup and waiting for the hit.
And at least Taz is going to be able to back up his teammate at Prism. And this is kind of do or die now for HONORIS. They really need to win this gun round. It's so vital for their success. And Thomas, with the bomb, is just going to swing out and...
Why?
Like they dropped that bomb. It's now a disadvantage for Endpoint, and they can't even recover it.
And that's going to force the CT to rotate back to the A defensive. So long as they can control this bomb, they've basically won the round. Why would Thomas do that? I know he's good, but he has to pass that all back to his teammates at least. Crucial going to get traded out by Taz, and Ryko with his AK picked up deals with Surreal. Last man's Robin, sprays awkward. It doesn't get the kill, and HONORIS will get 10 to the CT board. That was a big mistake coming out from Endpoint Peak.
Yeah, no, that's a big mistake, and they have to force because they're on no loss bonus. They're on 1400, so they'll get 1900 in the next round. They have to force. They'll be on double eco. But that's a big mistake, and it's something that you probably don't see from Thomas all too often. But the fact is, you know, if he went by himself without the bomb, fine. But considering he has that bomb, it drops it in the open. It gives them no way of, like, you know, setting a fake to the A bomb site and bringing that bomb over to B. It just makes it so awkward. And when they try and go fast up from that ramp, this is the quickest play we've seen from them yet.
Smoke up from Taz. A bit of a control here towards this corner position on the ramp area. Endpoint not wasting any time going for this ramp control. Have their hearts set on the A site. Secure a bomb plant, hopefully, and go from there. But it's all down to timing and when they take face.
CTs. Actually playing a pretty aggressive crossfire around this alley position. And Prism going to be able to strike onto the first and the second. Quick trade does come up. Taz only finds one. And Mighty Mac's last one left. 1 versus 3, and we should get taken down. So pretty simple round coming out for the HONORIS side. This is really down to the wire, because Endpoint are going to be on complete Glocks. They can't really invest anything. And we should particularly see HONORIS up 12 rounds, 1 round of a deficit.
I'm kind of surprised, to be honest. Like, we had HONORIS written off. Remember earlier when they took on the Honor attack side and they just got decimated by like 16
Didn't look like this.
7?
Yeah. It's like we're watching a completely different team.
Exactly. Like, this is so weird. Well, it's just going back and forth between levels of form within the same day. They do lose a trade on the 1-for-1. Ryko opens things up on Surreal, but he goes falling to the hands of Robin. The rifle can't get picked up, unfortunately. The boost spot will still come through from Crucial as Neo swings in, Thomas gets rid of that M4, grabs the AK. I thought he flicked to that player, but no. Stomp grabs that AWP pick. Prism gets Mighty Max next, and Robin left alone in the 1 versus 4. And yeah, the Glocks, as you mentioned, only a minimal amount of damage here. For a second kill back on Robin. He could isolate these 2 players. No. Stomp stays alive as Neo takes the final frag. 12-13 now. Endpoint with a bye to defend their lead.
I'm dying for a tactical pause from Endpoint. I'm dying for a tactical pause, please. Just take a moment of respite just to kind of consider what's going on at the moment. They are allowing a big comeback at the moment. This is now 3 rounds in a row from HONORIS. And you think they win this round, they reset the economy. So one thing in the back of the mind from Endpoint, they need a bomb plan at minimum. A round success would be perfect, but they need a bomb plan.
Oh, spraying against Mighty Max will do its damage. No kill. Nade on. Oh, big. That's even better. We saw Endpoint doing that on their CT side when they were wrecking HONORIS. Now, against the full rifles this time, Thomas and Mighty Max are going to get tanked to 50 HP or thereabouts.
A good damage being done in terms of utility, and you got to think that they might set themselves up for a flash peek to try and see if they can over-aggress out through ramp. Gonna wait for a little bit longer. They're so close to one another, and they just don't know it.
Prism. Bugs coming in. Taz going to set up this flashbang. Max heard it. He's going to wait for the face. Taz goes down. Prism next up. That's a second kill for Mighty Max. And a flashbang in for the man. AWP of Stomp will get crucial to return. 4 versus 3. Riker still on site. He's low HP. He's dropped the bomb. And Surreal will find that trade. So 3 versus 2 now. Endpoint will get the bomb planted again. Low HP across the entire T-side board. 2 players could line up. Neo gets Surreal back on the bomb site. Even standing, but a HP advantage for both players of HONORIS. Thomas on 34, Mighty Max on 35. That flashbang is going to be seen. Mighty Max can't afford to pop his head up. Stomp knows exactly how to deal with this player. A player on site now. Neo going to look to tap the diffuser. AWP hoping to see the AWP swap out. He misses his flick. Gets back up on top of the boxes. They're protecting this bomb with all their might. Thomas expecting an alley flank. His back is turned. And so's Max's. Neo can get them both. And that was perfectly played on the patience game for HONORIS. 13 all. The retake is successful.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Endpoint. It's devastating. Absolutely devastating. And HONORIS, I mean, they're allowing this comeback to come through. Really well played in that 2-on-2 to try and pull the attention away from both of the players to Neo. Honestly, it started off really nicely. I mean, Mighty Max gets a couple of great kills, and from there, it just all falls apart. And that spray. Neo, just so smart. Absolutely mind-banged. And you got to think now, like 13-13, this is going to be HONORIS taking the lead, Jay. Unless...
It's going to be one of those weird rounds where Endpoint pull the pistols out and somehow beat HONORIS to reclaim their lead. We saw a couple of those over in the alternate attack series. I didn't think Endpoint would be the ones to have to rely on those strats. But alas, here we are in a 5-on-4. Thomas tagged up the 12 HP. Incendiary is going to force him back because he can't afford to stick around that top of ramp position. And Taz flashed out, completely blind, ducks back behind the boxes here. Re-smoke in, and Surreal knows he's there somewhere. He's still at the edge of the smoke. He still take down several players, and indeed they will be able to do so. Bomb plant secured, crucial, very aggressive in this one. Taz knows he's there somewhere. And taking on the Mighty Max there to spam on towards Neo as Crucial goes falling. He's the last player standing. 2 headshots coming in, but no more than that. Damage done to the economy of the CT side, which could put Endpoint on good stead to get to match and map point first. But they need to get the buy up here, and they need to make it.
Where is the tack coming out from Endpoint? It's just, it seems like it's necessary. It certainly does. I'd like to see something quick, whether they go for the run boost out towards the B stairs or try and take some early control, because it really seems like for Endpoint, all they've got in their strat book at the moment for this T side is take ramp control.
AK's in for Robin, going to spray through, try take some sort of mid-control, sees Taz,
the nade.
3 HP, that nade misses!
Oh, no.
It doesn't go through the door, Endpoint can't get the opening kill, despite they've come this close to finding it.
Damn, that's a missed opportunity, unfortunately, but they won't know how low the Taz really is. And well, it's back to the A bomb site. It's back to the ramp default for Endpoint. And at least for HONORIS, these last few rounds, they've been able to stack up the bomb site. 3 players here for the HONORIS side.
Smoke splashes, Mighty Max here to the advanced position, looking for Prism, definitely needs to get this brain together, doing damage, gets himself 2 kills, it's Thomas. Doubling up big time, moving into the bomb site, Stomp in the back line, Taz on 3 HP, gonna have to fall back and find a different passive way of working into this retake because the bomb plant is about to come through.
And they just need to make sure, hold on to this advantage, because if they can, then HONORIS, they might even think about going for the save. I mean, the money line is not fantastic at the moment, and yeah, they're out of there. They realize the fact this round's important for us, but not as important as losing the money. We're going 30 rounds, Jay.
Indeed we are. Indeed we are. 14-14, very similar to Dust 2. But much more unexpected this time around, so. The question is, will it go as far as Dust 2 did? Will we be seeing an overtime? It's Thomas.
What? Surreal just killed Thomas?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what... don't know why that happened, but either way, that is a rifle drop. Only 1 out of 5, so it's not too worrying for Endpoint.
Yeah, I suppose it's not massively worrying, but you really don't want to be making mistakes like that. I mean, they should be able to get a buy-in, especially if they get a bomb plant and they lose the round. They should be able to have enough money to get a buy into the next. Thomas doesn't have a great amount of money, but Mighty Max does. Ooh, they've heard that. That molly actually hit towards the player of Ryko, so they'll know that he's actually pushed pretty aggressively.
Max moving in towards Ali here. He's going to regress
quick.
Quite far. I think Taz is accounting for this. Headshot not quite landed. Surreal takes Ryko as he gets overly aggressive for the CT cap. 5 versus 4 now. Molotov standing. Neo's going to continue to try to challenge his player. He's going to see the shadow, but Neo gets the kill now. Smokes onto the A-bomb site. Second player is now actively defending this position. Stomp here with the orb. Smoke down again. Going to try and blind him off. The T's make their way up. The reflash in on the CT camp. Taz hoping to get somebody blind, but nothing will be seen. 4 versus 4 in the retake now.
They'll know that they did damage to Neo in terms of Surreal giving that information over, but it all really comes down to this post plant. Can they hold it off? Neo quite low, so is Taz. And for HONORIS, just setting themselves up with this utility. They're slowing this retake down.
Good on shot from Crucial. Tight angle to find. And that's Thomas with a 2-man spray down as they lined up perfectly for him. Neo on the backstab. Can't do anything. He's out of dodge. He's out of there. And it's Endpoint on a map, match, and qualification point here out of Group D.
Oh my. And you think money-wise, there is not a lot for HONORIS. They don't even have enough money to get the AWP out for Stomp. Oh my, 1 more round is all that will take it. Honestly, that round comes down to Mighty Max. The way that he's able to isolate, you know, the quick alley presence, and then 4-on-4, they just play the numbers game. Great lineup coming out from Thomas. And HONORIS, they're going to take a bit of attack, realizing the fact, you know, we don't have the best of buys. We're playing for OT. What can we achieve? We found a lot of success, at least from Neo and Ryko, getting aggressive towards the B stairs. It got shut down in the last round. Do we want to try it again?
One round to go for Endpoint and for HONORIS. For Endpoint to turn this map over, for HONORIS to take us to overtime. Another overtime, I might add. Look at the T-side buy coming through. Orbs AK is dropping upgrade pistols for the entire T-side force. And the buy-up, as you mentioned, from HONORIS could not be... Well, it could be better. 3 M4s from us and a 5-7 for Prism.
Deep smoke coming out. Now, we've seen this smoke before from the CT side, but it doesn't actually look like, even with how deep it is, that they want to try and get aggressive. They're actually playing very passive at the moment. Is that a double sandbags for the CT side? It is. Okay. Not something you see every day. That's a bait and switch setup. As soon as they molly it, they'll smoke it down and one will swing out. Endpoint might not expect the second.
Molly in, Thomas takes the kill on Neo. Mighty Max is the only player really challenging, seeing that smoke. He's going to back off. Well played on his part. The AK Thomas still looking for some sort of frag back, nades onto his position, tags him the 69 points of HP. Do they know that Taz is still here? Do they realize? Oh, what?
I've never seen this before.
You're kidding me. You can see that. He's seeing the movement. Taz is getting tagged up. He's forced out. I can't believe that. 5 versus 3 for Endpoint, and they're going to make their way in.
Oh, look, that's insane. I'd never seen that before. And well, for Endpoint, it seems like Crucial is just one step ahead, reading it so well. They're executing the A bomb site, and there's only 3 more defenders, but the rotates, they're coming quickly to AJ.
2 players left standing, 1 player directly on that bomb site. Ranko's going to wait and bait for the bomb planter. He's the last man standing in 1v5 though. And that's going to do it. 16-14, 2-0 for Endpoint.